At the time of recording, the Bricks has introduced the components feature, which is experimental feature at this moment. I'm not going to discuss about it yet, but you can just go here in the when you click on it here, it will bring you here where you can see that it is experimental stage. So we do not usually use the experimental feature in the live websites or the production website. So at the moment I'm not going to discuss about the component itself. You are more than welcome to look into the components, but we will discuss about the components at the later stage. But for now, let's just focus on the base elements which you are going to learn today. So you have already seen this layout stuff like section, container, block, and tip, and you know the difference now better than anyone. And like for example, now I'm using a section element. Inside the section we have this container inside, and I have just selected the container, and now I'm going to go to the basic elements. These basic elements are the fundamentals of every website. Okay, so just like for example, let's say you are saying that components, this component is in bold and in the heading stage, and then this is the text, the paragraph stage. So these are all are the important elements. And if we look into the heading element and go here and see that the content, there are two tabs, content and style. And if you notice in the layout section, then there are content and style tab. So I'm going to discuss it here on this heading level, so you will learn it much better. But right now you can see that we have this heading, and inside the heading we have several options. So for every single elements, the content section is different, but on the style you will see that this will remain the same. So let me explain the styling part in the more detailed manner. These are all the basic level settings which you can achieve with the CSS itself, but it is available from the interface so that you can understand it better. But if you want the in-depth guide, then you can explore on your own. That go to the Google and explore that how these specific properties are working to get the better idea. But for now, let's see how these are working. So for example, margin, in the margin we have this margin top and margin bottom, margin left and margin right. So and we have this panel which is saying that if we have set the CSS variables, so we can also set the CSS variable. If you don't know about that, just Google it, you will get the idea in more detail. But from here you can switch the interfaces, and this is just like another interface which you can utilize. But from here you can just like for example, if I'm putting it here 20 pixels, then it will apply the 20 pixel padding from the top. By default the units are in pixels, and so just consider that you don't need to write like pixels again, so it is already in pixel. And if you want to verify that, just save it and go to the front end and do the inspect elements. So I'm just using this inspector element, and just go to the this heading and see that we just added this margin top, and here is the property that we added, margin top 20 pixels. Now if I want to add the margin on the bottom side, then I will just use 20 pixels at the bottom, 20 pixels on the left, and 20 pixels on the right. But if I want all the spacing at once, for example, let's say I don't want to repeat myself, because I want to repeat this 20 pixels to all the boxes, to all the sides, then we have this option which is unlinked at the moment, because when I'm typing it here, it is not getting printed inside this block and this one. So I will just click here unclicked and opposite sides. So opposites linked are enabled. So for example, if I will type 15 here, then you notice that on the opposite of the margin top, this is the margin bottom, that gets just printed and duplicated. So what I want is I want all four boxes to get checked. So I will just click all sides, and now you can see that 15 pixels has been linked to all the sides. So if I do 20 pixels, then 20 pixels has been added. So this is the fundamental of these margin, that you are adding these values from top, bottom, left and right. So these are all the outer space margin. If you don't know, outer outer side, the box outer side spacing is known as margin. And if we want the spacing inside the box itself, then we use the padding. So let's say I want 20 pixel padding inside this box, and 20 to the bottom, 15 on the left and 15 on the right. And if I want again, this option is enabled, disabled at the moment. If I want to enable opposite sides, then I will be able to use this feature. So 25 pixels on the left, 25 pixels on the right. And if we look into these properties in the inspect elements, then you will see that it just added these properties. So margin top 20 pixels, margin right, margin bottom, margin left, and these are all the other properties for the padding itself. So you can see that the yellowish box is the margin, and the greenish box is the padding, and the content itself is in the blue. So in the next video we will discuss about the sizing.